They laughed when you fell. Not a gentle chuckle, not an innocent misunderstanding. No, it was the kind of laughter that echoes in empty rooms, the kind that lingers in your mind at 3 a.m. when the world is asleep and your doubts are wide awake. They watched you struggle. They saw your hands shaking. They saw your dreams trembling like fragile glass in a storm. And they laughed. They thought this was the end of you. They thought the weight was too heavy. They thought the pressure would crush you. They thought the betrayal would poison you from the inside out. They were so sure. And maybe, for a moment, you were too. They expected you to break. They expected you to beg, to shrink, to disappear quietly into the background like a shadow at sunset. They imagined your silence would mean surrender. They assumed your tears were weakness. They mistook your patience for powerlessness. They told themselves, this is it. This is where they give up. But what they didn't understand, what they couldn't see, was the war happening inside you. Because while they were laughing on the outside, you were rebuilding on the inside. Every insult became fuel. Every rejection became a lesson. Every betrayal became a mirror. They saw a fall. You felt a transformation. They saw an ending. You were standing at the beginning. Do you remember that night when you questioned everything? When your chest felt tight and the world seemed darker than usual? When you wondered if maybe they were right? But even then, even in your lowest moment, something inside you refused to die. A whisper, a spark, a quiet voice that said, not like this. They expected ashes. They didn't realize ashes are where phoenixes are born. Pain became your teacher, not a gentle one, not a soft-spoken guide. Pain dragged you through fire. It forced you to face your insecurities. It made you sit alone with your flaws, your fears, your rawest thoughts. But instead of running, you stayed. Instead of blaming, you reflected. Instead of collapsing, you adapted. You learned to sit in silence. You learned to observe instead of react. You learned that strength isn't loud, it's patient. They were busy celebrating your downfall. You were studying your weaknesses. You started waking up earlier, thinking deeper, speaking less, listening more. You realized something powerful. The same people who doubted you were the same people who underestimated you. And that was their mistake. You began building habits in the dark, brick by brick, day by day. No applause, no validation, no audience. Just you, just discipline, just vision. And the funny thing about growth is, it's invisible at first, like roots beneath the soil. They can't see the roots. They can't hear the silent work. They can't measure the internal shift, but you can feel it. That moment when criticism no longer stings the same way. That moment when rejection feels like redirection. That moment when you realize you don't need their approval. Something changed in you. You stopped chasing. You stopped proving. You stopped explaining, and you started becoming stronger, sharper, calmer. They laughed when you fell. They didn't notice you were learning how to rise. Then one day, they saw it. Not all at once, not with fireworks or dramatic music, but subtly. They noticed you weren't reacting anymore. You weren't arguing. You weren't defending yourself. You were focused, and that scared them. Because people are comfortable when you're predictable. When you react the same way, when you stay the same version of yourself they learned how to control. But you changed. You became quiet, but not weak. You became calm, but not passive. You became distant, but not bitter. Did they really think you'd stay broken? Did they really believe the pain they caused would define you? Now the laughter feels different. It's nervous, forced, because they can sense it, the shift. They see the glow in your eyes. They hear the confidence in your voice. They notice the way you walk into a room, not seeking validation, not demanding attention, but commanding respect without asking for it. And suddenly, the same people who once mocked your ambition now question their own. The same people who dismissed your dreams now whisper your name in rooms you're not even in. They don't understand what happened. They thought pain would weaken you, but pain sharpened you. They thought isolation would destroy you, but isolation introduced you to yourself. They thought betrayal would break your heart, but betrayal broke your illusions. And now they're uncomfortable, because you are no longer someone they can manipulate. You are no longer someone they can intimidate. You are no longer someone who seeks their permission. You are free, and freedom terrifies those who tried to cage you. You didn't just survive, you evolved. Your mind became your weapon. Your discipline became your armor. Your silence became your strategy. You stopped responding emotionally to chaos. You started responding strategically to life. Storms still came. Of course they did, but you were no longer afraid of the thunder. You had become the storm. There's a difference between someone who hasn't faced darkness and someone who has walked through it and come back stronger. You carry depth now. Your smile isn't naive, it's earned. Your confidence isn't loud, it's grounded. Your presence isn't desperate, it's deliberate. They notice, oh, they notice. They scroll through your progress. They hear about your achievements. They watch from a distance, pretending not to care, but deep down, they feel it, regret. Because they underestimated the fire inside you. They thought you needed them, but you discovered you only needed yourself. And here's the most powerful part. You don't hate them. You don't seek revenge. You don't fantasize about proving them wrong. You simply outgrew them. That's the ultimate victory. Indifference, peace, mastery. While they replay the past in their minds, wondering where they miscalculated, you are too busy building your future. Every setback became a stepping stone. Every insult became a reminder. Every laugh became a prophecy. Because now they cry, not always with tears. Sometimes it's silent envy. Sometimes it's quiet jealousy. Sometimes it's the ache of realizing they misjudged you. They cry because they see what you've become, and they know they can't access this version of you, the version forged in fire, the version that no longer seeks validation. The version that stands tall, not to impress, but because you know your worth. You became the star in a sky they thought would go dark. You became the crown they thought would shatter. You became the flame they tried to extinguish, and now they feel the heat. Look at you, calm, focused, unshaken. You no longer explain your vision to people committed to misunderstanding it. You no longer argue with those determined to doubt you. You move in silence. You build in private. You let results speak. And your results? They roar. You are not who you were when they laughed. You are refined, disciplined, unrecognizable. They thought your fall was the final chapter, but it was your origin story. Every hero is misunderstood before they are admired. Every legend is doubted before they are celebrated. Every warrior is tested before they are crowned. You were tested, you were doubted, you were laughed at, and you passed. Not because it was easy, not because it was fair, but because you decided your story wouldn't end in someone else's laughter. It would end in your victory. And here's the truth. You don't even need them to cry. You don't need apologies. You don't need validation. You don't need revenge. Your peace is louder than their mockery ever was. Your success is brighter than their laughter ever could be. You walk with a quiet power now, the kind that doesn't seek attention but naturally attracts it, the kind that doesn't beg for respect but commands it. They laughed, now they watch. They underestimated, now they reconsider. They dismissed, now they admire. From a distance they can never close, but listen carefully. This story isn't about them. It was never about them. It was about you discovering who you are when everything is taken away. When the noise fades, when the support disappears, when the laughter echoes. It was about you realizing that your strength doesn't come from applause. It comes from adversity. They laughed because they couldn't see your potential. Now they cry because they can't ignore it. But you don't look back with anger. You look back with gratitude, because without their doubt, you wouldn't have found your discipline. Without their betrayal, you wouldn't have found your boundaries. Without their laughter, you wouldn't have discovered your roar. So let them laugh, let them doubt, let them underestimate, because you know something they don't. Pressure creates diamonds, Fire creates steel, adversity creates warriors, and you are no longer the person who fell, you are the person who rose. They laughed, now they cry. And you smile, not out of arrogance, not out of revenge, but out of peace, because you survived, you evolved, you conquered, and you did it without becoming like them. That is your real victory. So the next time someone laughs at your dreams, the next time they doubt your path, the next time they try to shrink your vision, remember this moment, remember the fire, remember the transformation, and remind yourself they laughed once, but they won't be laughing forever, because you are just getting started.